welcome to Pedro Suarez podcast. This is a space where we talk about music, growth, discipline, and the journey behind the art. Today's guest is someone whose life has been deeply rooted in music for decades. From singing in church at just 5 years old and to serving as a first tenor in the USA Army Choir in Korea, to becoming known as the musical voice of downtown Plymouth for over 20 years. His story is one of dedication, resilience, and passion. He has performed for generations, mentored countless musicians, and continued to inspire through both performance and teaching. It's truly an honor to welcome D.A. Turner. DL, thank you to being here with me today.
Thank you, Pedro. My pleasure.
Excellent. You were singing in church at 5 years old. When do you realize music wasn't just something you enjoyed, but something you were called to do so?
Yes. I was only 5, and I was playing my grandmother's tennis racket. You know, I take the tennis racket, I put a string over the top, and I take a bread wrapper, and I play the tennis racket like this, and I kept doing it until I wore the strings out on the tennis racket. She said, maybe we should get him a guitar. So they got me a guitar at 5 years old. I started playing that, and I was singing in the church by 8 years old, you know, solos on Sunday, stuff like that. And they encouraged me. Then I joined Mrs. Snow's Boys Choir, which is like an elite little boys choir there in South Texas. All the boys were singers, and we would travel around the country and sing at churches and other places. It was very fun. So
Yeah,
all of my life I've been singing.
that's really inspiring.
Yeah.
That's really excellent. That's amazing.
Starting off, right?
Yeah, by the time you joined the army, you were already an impressive musician. Where did that level of discipline and commitment come from?
Well, when I joined the army, I was only 17 years old, and they said to me, "You got two choices, boy. You can have the little guns up close or the big guns way back, right?" And I said, "Well, maybe I'm going to take the big guns way back." So I joined the artillery, you know, for shooting cannons and stuff. And they sent me to Korea. And then I was stationed on the DMZ in Korea, right there where all the action was, you know, a lot of snipers and stuff. And I ended up getting hurt a little bit. So I went down to Korea South into Seoul. And then they said, "We're going to put you in the choir." I said, "A choir?"
Oh my God!
Okay, you're going to change my life then. No more artillery, no more guns. I'm gonna get to sing in the choir. And I auditioned and I made it real well. All the other singers, Pedro, they were like graduates of Harvard or Juilliard Music School. You know, the best singers in the world. And here I was singing with them. So it took me from being a good musician to being in the best,
Even better.
in the world, you know. And so that was really good growth for me while I was in the army. We toured all over the Orient with the USO shows to entertain the troops. That was our job. And also we entertained the people in the countries, Japan, Thailand, Korea, Vietnam, all those.
That's really cool. That's nice.
It was a good thing we did, right?
That's awesome.
If you're going to serve your country, serve it doing what you do best.
Yeah.
I sing best. That's what I do best.
Yeah,
It's a good thing.
that's nice.
Yeah.
How did serving as a first tenor in the USA Army Choir in Korea save you as a both musician and a person?
Well, when I first got out of the army, a friend of mine took me. He called me up and he said, "I got a new LTD Ford, man. I'm going to come get you, and we're going to go traveling the whole country. We're going to go everywhere, every state, and just go meet people and have fun. I said, let's do that, man. So we did. We went for like 2 months. We just drove around the country in that car and had the best time. And met people, played guitar all the time. And then when we ended up back in Michigan, he lived in Michigan. So he said, why don't we go there? And I met another guy and started working with music here, playing down on Woodward Avenue at some of the bigger establishments, the Fox and Hounds, Archibald, Spaghetti Company. And then later on, I started working right here in Plymouth at the Mayflower Hotel. And that was a 5-star restaurant and hotel right in the middle of Plymouth.
Oh, wow.
And I started working there in like late 80s. And so it was like for 12 years I worked there. So, well, all the way through the 80s and into about 92 is where it was. And I was the harpist for their dining room. So I would play the harp in the dining room for dinner. And then I would go into the lounge called the Crow's Nest and play the guitar and sing until 12 o'clock at night. So 8 until midnight, I play that. And that was like on the weekends, Friday, Saturday. And then I had a studio, recording studio, right down the street on Main Street in Plymouth. And it was called Unity Productions. And so I had my studio, and then I worked at the Mayflower. And then I also was teaching at the time. We had in my studio, we also had instruction, so people could come there, take lessons during the day, and then at night it becomes a recording studio. Very cool.
Yeah, that's the thing, we are musicians, we have families to feed,
That's what I'm saying.
and we have to do the best we can,
Find
because
ways.
sometimes music cannot feed the family, and
Sometimes.
we have to do what we have to do.
That's what we do.
That's amazing. That's has really inspired me to keep going.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Wow. Yes, doing a lot of things, doing lessons, working in the hotel,
Yep.
and just recording and interacting with other musicians. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it was.
You became known as the musical voice of downtown Plymouth during your years at the Mayflower. What does it take to sustain an excellence for over 2 decades?
Well, I think it comes first down to believing in yourself, believing that you have what it takes to do this. I know that my harp music is so unique and different than other people's harp playing. I studied with Nadia Marks. She's a harpist that she's passed away now, but she was living in Plymouth, and she had studied with Salcedo. And Salcedo was the greatest harpist of the past maybe 200 years. They have even harps named after Salcedo now. So,
Wow.
But she taught me how to play it like a guitar player, because I'm a guitar player. And so she showed me tricks, things that I could do on this harp that made it sound really cool and that could make it do what I wanted to do. So that's what we did. I started playing the harp. I started growing musically again, and I was playing music full time and going to school. I went and got my degree in communications, and then went back to school after that and got my degree. So then I ended up working for CNN as an audio specialist.
Oh my goodness.
And so I was teaching audio and going out and doing all these things. And then we started doing live sports for Past Sports here in Ann Arbor. Mike Illich owned that company. And it was like, so we did the Pistons, the Red Wings, and all these teams on TV. We would go and record them and do the video that you see on TV. We had all the multicam shoot going on, and then it had the big truck and all that with all the production going on. I'm the audio guy sitting there just moving the mics, stand by camera 1, stand by camera 2, take camera 2, exciting stuff, but that didn't make me happy, Pedro. It made me, I could do it and I do it good, but I wasn't happy because my music is what was calling me. So I had to keep going back to the music. I worked at a music store where I could sell guitars and keyboards and everything, you know. One of the best, it was called Arnold Williams Music right in Canton. I worked there for, gosh, almost 20 years, off and on, because I would be working there and I'd meet somebody. Like this one time I met this guy named Doug Yalaki. He was the keyboard player for a group called Badfinger. You might not know of them. It's an older 60s kind of group, you know, but they were popular back in the 60s, 70s. And so he was a really good keyboard player. And we started working together, and then, you know, it's like I've gone in every direction that you can think of with other things, like this way and that way,
just,
you know?
Yeah, just around music, but not directly music, but
and it took
that sounds awesome.
It took me all of these years to go. After I left here in 2001, I went to Florida and I worked down there with my daughter and my son. So I had my son playing the bass, my daughter singing with me, and we had a gig at this resort hotel on the beach. We lived on the beach, played music 7 days a week, and we were in charge of all the sound and lighting for all 7 stages in the hotel. It was the best job in the world.
Yeah,
Pedro, I
can do this every day too.
What I love, what I do best, and make money at it too, the best of all worlds, man. So I was so happy, and that went for a long time. And then she got married, and Jonathan came back to Michigan, and then I came here again in just about 3 years ago and started to develop this band and work again with Ryan Harris at the Harris Conservatory of Music to develop a band that was a premier band of all the teachers and stuff that worked there. And so we developed that. We call it Songsmith.
Yeah, that's your band.
That's my new band, yeah. And so I've been really excited about working with them, and they're all. And my son is playing the bass, which, you know, is just awesome. So I think that's kind of what I've done all my life, though. I keep going in circles because I want the music, but I know I have to pay the bills.
Yep.
And so now at this age, I got my Social Security, and I got people that love me and respect me all around me. So what I am doing now is focusing just on me doing the music and delegating these other things, you know, the website, the this, the that, all those other things. I would wear so many hats, Pedro, it made me crazy. So I started saying, no more hats for me. I'll wear one hat, and that's my own. I'll play the harp and the guitar and sing and do all that stuff. And so now my dedication is that.
I mean, I know what you mean, because
I know.
Now all the stuff that you already told me, I just living it right now. You know, it's really hard sometimes just to make a living just with pure music. Right. You have to be very, very lucky, but yeah, we do whatever you have to get done, and that's it, and be happy.
But there is a way.
Yeah.
And that's the point. And I'm trying to find and create a path for other people, young people that want to believe in music and believe in themselves. I want to encourage that you can do this. I have a little harp student. She's only 10 years old, but she's playing really good, man. She's going to give me a run for my money if I'm not careful, you know?
Yeah, but that's the legacy that we can just left behind.
That's the best we could ask for, is our student becomes better than us.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You bet, man.
I have another question for you. Performing every weekends for years, how did you stay inspired and avoid burnout?
Well, that is a really good question, Pedro, because I spent so many years playing in rooms where all the people were not even in the room. at the hotel I was playing in Florida, it was upstairs, the top level of the hotel, and it was called the Sun Deck. So everybody wanted to go out on the deck, and they had these swinging chairs, and everybody wanted to swing on the chairs and listen to the music. So we installed, my son Jonathan and I installed speakers all outside. Every 20 feet was another speaker. So there was no bad seats in the entire hotel. Whether you're in a restaurant, whether you're outside on the deck, whether you're out on the beach, there's speakers everywhere. So it sounded so wonderful there all the time. And I knew, though, that those people out there were enjoying me, and my job was to just keep them drinking. So if I keep them drinking, they're going to be okay, and they're going to make money for the bar, and they're going to love me more. And so everything goes on. But I've always had people that love my music and you know, comment on it, and I get tips and things like that. But it's time now. This time in my life is where it's my time to go all the way with my original music and to bring everything to fruition. Everything I've done in my entire life is coming to fruition right now. And I'm excited about it.
That's cool.
Good time in life right now. But how I dealt with it is like believing that I am better than average. I mean, I worked real hard to be as good as I am. And it sounds like it's the radio, and people just take it for that. I thought that was the radio.
Yeah,
well, thank you. I think.
And again, I want to say something that I think I met you probably around 1 or 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And I remember that day, I just get my hair cut in downtown Plymouth. I just, you know, walking around, and I see music, and I say, hey, wait a minute. This sounds incredible. Let me go where this music came from.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why that day is when I am then used to discover the Harris Conservatory of Music.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing, you know. You really are a great composer,
Oh, thank you.
an excellent performer, and an excellent musician, you know.
Yeah, you too, Pedro.
And
I enjoyed you at our show the other one.
thank
we
you.
did, and we're looking forward to having you at the next one that we do too.
Yeah, that's the best thing the musician can do, you know, meet other friends, fellow musicians too, and just become friends and just do what we love most. That is music, you know.
That's right.
I have an interesting question right now
what's
because I did my homework.
Okay.
Is there one performance night that still stand out to you when you'll never forget?
I have so many that were extremely dynamic and wonderful. But as of right now, there's one concert that we did, and it was November the 8th of last year. And this band, Songsmith, played at the Penn Theater right in Plymouth. And we had 200 souls there. It was, you know, that's pretty good turnout. The 400 is capacity. And so it was our first concert there, and we were really, every one of them just about was either family or friends. And so the warmth in that room was just incredible. And so that one stands out a lot right now in my life. Probably one of the best, other than that, you know, that I remember from ever. It was when I was in the Army. I was in Seoul, Korea, at a university called Iliwa University, and they had 10,000 people.
Oh my God.
Like a sea of people out in front of us, and a big stage, and I was the star on it. You know, I was singing, and I had my other artists in the band were from the choir, so I had a great piano player, and then I had 4 back vocal singers, and I'm playing guitar and singing. I even have pictures of that I'll have to share with you sometime. It's so cool to see how beautiful and young I was back then, you know. But that was when I was only 19 years old, and here I was on the biggest stage in the world playing for 10,000 people. And I will never forget that.
That's glad to hear that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I never play around just that amount of people. It's a lot.
Yeah.
That's probably the maximum amount that I perform. Probably around 2,000, 5,000 people.
That's still a good turnout, man.
Yeah.
You know, when you have that many people in front of you,
Yeah.
the energy, you feel it, you know.
But normally I don't get nervous.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit, but as soon as I start playing the first one, all the other came really good. I'm not nervous no more.
That's because
I
you're
think-
confident.
Yeah, I think that's just what happened for me. But
Mhm.
I don't know about you. An example?
I don't get nervous much anymore. I've been doing it so long, Pedro. I know exactly what I'm doing. When I was in Florida, I had a friend down there. His name was Ruben Cruz.
Ruben Cruz.
Ruben Cruz. And I lived in a house with him and another guy. And so he was mariachi. I mean, full-blown mariachi from Mexico City. The real deal. And he and I would do mariachi music, and he had a full-time house gig at Mexico Lindo, which was right down at the end of our street. So even if he drank tequila all night, it was okay. All you gotta do is roll home or crawl.
It's just that Mexico Lindo that you're talking about is just restaurant
A
close.
restaurant.
Oh
yeah,
my God,
for mariachi.
I love mariachi music. And
Table to table, and we would. He took me because I could do all the gringo mariachi stuff. You know, I would do Stairway to Heaven. I would do Dust in the Wind and all those songs. You know, on the guitar. And he's, you know, he always had this one thing he said: "You fake it till you make it, man." Okay, man, you know what I'm talking about because I grew up in South Texas, you know, in like the very tip of Texas, like by Brownsville, Texas, right where Mexico is. Everybody's Mexican down there. So I learned to talk like this when I was growing up, man. You know, everybody talk like this. It was kind of fun. But it's cool.
yeah, the Mexican culture is very interesting.
Yes, it is.
I identify myself with Mexican culture too a lot because my family in Cuba, they really love the Mexican music.
Oh, yeah.
And when I learned to play guitar and music, I always are the musician in the family.
Right.
Just to get my guitar and just everyone singing. I'm the guy accompany everybody else.
Right.
And that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing, I cannot get enough Mexican food.
Oh, yeah.
I
me
love
too.
it.
That's good
I
stuff.
love tortas cubana and I love tequila and burritos.
See?
I mean, I cannot get enough, man. I love Mexican food.
We should do mariachi.
Yeah.
They give us the food and drink for free. I'll do one. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can do it.
Ándale.
Puedo estar al lado de esa cultura todo el tiempo, you know, me aburro.
That's it.
It's really good.
That's right.
You know, now I'm gonna go a little deeply, because I know how much deeply mean to you that Lani K Resort.
Mm.
I have an interesting question. When the Lani K chapter ended due to the hurricanes, how did you mentally and emotionally handle starting over?
Mm. Wow. Well, that is a good question, you know, because here's what happened. In Hurricane Ian, that's the one that did all that damage. We always talked about this for years beforehand. You know, it's like someday there's going to be a storm and the big wave will come and we'll all just sit here and have a drink, you know, of tequila and watch it come because there's nothing you can do. You can't
No.
run from it. But when Hurricane Ian came, I was in my daughter's house. She had gone to another place inland to be safe, and I was protecting her house. So the wind was pulling the French doors like bees. They're pulling, sucking it out. And so it was going to take the doors and throw them out, and all this stuff would go bad and everything. So I went and tried to hold them shut. It was pulling me out like this. So I took a big electrical wire and wrapped around the doors with the handles, tied it to a big cat tree, an 8-foot cat tree, got on the cat tree and held it like that and rode the storm out during the eye of the storm. Kayaks flying through the air. It was the strangest experience of my life. I was scared to death. I thought I was going to die, you know. Could have happened, right? So at the end of all that, I found out that the Lani Kai was out there and it had been flooded and damaged tragically. All the people I knew, all the venues I had, everything was gone. Everything. I couldn't have no work. Nothing happening. And so my family called from South Carolina, and my father-in-law was dying of cancer. And they asked me if I would come and be his caregiver. And they would pay me, you know, to take care of him. But since I didn't have any job, I said, okay. So I packed up my harp and my stuff, and I went to South Carolina, and I took care of him until he died.
Wow.
And then after that, I decided, you know, it's time for me to do what I need to do for myself, for my life. I don't need to go back to start over again with all these one-night gigs where I make essentially a couple of $100, maybe a few tips, you know, but I wanted to do what I really set out to do originally. I was a singer-songwriter, and I want to be that again. And so I came here to Michigan, and that's what I said to Brian and at the Harris Conservatory. I said, look, I want to be a full-time musician. I want to do this all the time and nothing else. And I have the Social Security to keep my bills paid, so I'm going to do that. And I want a team of people that believe in me and believe in what we're doing and believe in themselves. And we're going to follow this dream out. And so it's happening. You can watch it happen, right?
I see that is happening. I want to apologize that I can able that day to assist to your show.
Oh,
I was just busy, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard it is just to, when you have, you know, kiddos, small kids in the family.
Right.
And I have to work too. But I promise that I will do next big venue like that. Just please let me know. I will go.
Oh, yes.
I will try to go even with the family if I can.
Well, you know, on May 29th of this year.
May 29th?
May 29th, we're going to be in Kellogg Park for the Music in the Air concert series. We're the first band. They called us and asked us to be number one. And so we're going to open the series there on May 29th. And it's right in Kellogg Park. They have the full sound and stage and lights and everything. They usually have about 4,000 people there or more.
Yeah, that's going to be a great experience. You know, my wife, my daughters and me, I mean, we love it.
Oh, yeah.
We love Plymouth music in the air.
And then on what is it, April 18th, we have a concert.
April 18th.
That's the artisan market there. And in fact, we have a guy by the name of Pedro Suarez opening for us that day.
And that is that day that, you invite me just to go there and perform into,
That's right. And so we're looking forward to having you there, you know.
Yeah, I have to start, practice.
Yeah, we practice, our band practices. That's one thing about it. They practice with me 20 hours a week, Pedro. 20
That's
hours
a blessing.
week. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
To have people that are that dedicated and devoted to what they're doing. And it's paying off because they are just getting so good.
Yeah.
You know, every time they practice, they get better. And so, yeah, the devotion, it's like what we say at the conservatory is we talk the talk and we walk the walk.
Yep.
We're doing what we say we're going to do. We show you.
Yep.
This is how you do it. If you want to get on board, jump on the train, man. It's there. Everybody has the ability.
Yep.
Especially you. You know, you're a gifted man, talented person. I look forward to seeing how you develop.
Yeah, you know, I need more guidance and more help
Well, we're
with
here
you guys
for you.
because I like to, you know, writing my own songs, but I kind of sometimes I'm just limited with the theory behind what I learn how to do myself, you know, with the guitar, you know, how to do the arrangement with, you know, that maybe you know how to do it
Yeah.
and how to put everything in paper, you know, that you can just basically you can just show the paper and show the other musician
And they know
what
what to
they
do.
have to do, because for the people that don't know, yeah, just reading music and the theory is one of the hardest thing in music, because normally everybody else, you know, they just learn in chord or whatever. They just learn to do covers for other songs. They started in that way, but when you want to do your own things, it's required actually to you to copyright your music, to do the stuff that you do, you know.
That's what you do, exactly. You know,
And that way, I kind of a little limited, you know.
that the people in my band, for example, the saxophone player Nate,
Yeah.
he's a professor at Alma College, in you know, over here by East Lansing.
Oh,
So he's a professor at a college teaching saxophone. Heavyweight, right? And my other guy, my keyboard player, Aiden Rickle, he's a composition major. He has a master's degree in composition. He's a music minister in a church, in a Catholic church. So he does all the mass for all the services. He takes care of everything there, and still makes time to come and work with us. And he writes all that stuff. He can actually play it on the keyboard, and it writes it on the music, on the lines of the paper for you. So he can write the music by just playing it. Done. And so what I do is I write what's called a lead sheet. A lead sheet only has the words and the chord. It's telling you when to change
yeah,
the chord.
I know how to compose in that way.
Those are good. Excuse me, I dropped my water.
Yeah, don't worry.
But that's how we start out. We get our basic template. They call it a template. This is how the song goes. Then he takes it and he'll say, you have a B7 chord here. So play that chord, and I play it one note at a time. And he says, well, that's not exactly a B7 chord. That's a B7 add 9, 11, 7 or whatever, you know. And I'm like, what? Okay, it just looks like a B7
Now
to me.
that is what make a difference.
That's
you know?
what makes a difference, because then everybody knows the dimension of the structure of the composition, so they can add the right parts. And when you have knowledge of music theory, that's what you need to do, is apply it that way. And you have your verses and your choruses and your bridges and your instrumental sections, you know, and how you flow from one to the other creates the feeling of the music. This whole thing about music is manipulating people's feelings.
Yep.
That's a responsibility, Pedro.
Yep.
When we take people's feelings and mess with them, you know, that's why I never did like hard rock and roll, you know, hard driving metalhead. It just makes me like this. But when I hear the harp music and I hear this mellow, smooth jazz stuff.
Yeah, I love smooth jazz.
Don't you? Me too.
Yeah.
And my harp music is like that, you know. Like when I do Imagine, that one of the clips that we have is of Imagine, and it shows how the harp integrates with rock and roll, and it's just awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I will need a lot of guidance for them. Just the master the craft, those singer songwriting,
Yeah.
and I love to get into it very deeply.
Anything I can do to help you, Pedro.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I have a couple more questions, and in a little bit a while, maybe you like to perform. But number A is very interesting question. They said, what separates musicians who build lasting careers from those who give up?
I've met so many really good musicians that say to me, I used to play. And to me, that's heartbreaking, because I think you devoted yourself, you loved it so much, but you quit. And what made you quit? And so everybody has a good reason. It was because, this happened or that happened. But maybe if I put it this way, when I was a kid, I never knew my mother or my father. I was raised by my grandparents, and there was a generation gap, big one. And they were Southern Baptist too, which is real straightforward, church stuff. But I felt like I was pretty much alone all the time. And so I had one good friend that never let me down, and that was my music. So every time I felt down, I would go to play my music, and it would make me feel happy. I would write songs, and it would make me feel like that was something I did. I created this. This is mine. And it will be mine forever. And so I've written probably 200 songs now, and
Oh wow, that's impressive.
well,
200 songs is a lot.
well, I'm 72 years old. I've been writing a few days, so I'm getting the idea down. But yeah, I've written for harp, I've written for guitar, and I've written just gospel songs too for churches and stuff. And so I'm trying to get all that stuff published now. I am a published member of ASCAP, and so I'm one of the members of the team, as you might call it. ASCAP and BMI are the big two that register all of the sales of music in the world. And so
I think that en Cuba es de ACDAM, Asociación Cubana de Derechos de Autor Musical. It's just the same thing. ASCAP is just the American Association of
publishing artists, right?
the
Artists
people that
and
write songs and just
Right.
TV shows and all this
everything.
stuff.
And BMI is international. So ASCAP is American, BMI is international.
International.
And then probably, like you said, there's one in Cuba for Cuba.
Yeah, it's the ACDAM, yes. Asociación Cubana de Derechos de Autor Musical, music right,
They track your music sales.
Yep.
And that's good because, we it's easy for people to steal that stuff.
I mean, we are musicians, but we have family that we have to feed too. And the other thing is sad, that you compose something, you put, your feeling, you put everything, because every song is a part of your life, a story.
Yeah.
And it's hard when I see that people steal, even without giving to the owner,
Yeah.
just the mention or whatever, and
Right.
split the money, it's hard. It's sad to see it.
It is. Yeah.
Another one, in your experience, what matters more in the long run? Talent, discipline, or character?
Talent, discipline, or what? Or character.
In
Right.
your experience, what matters more in the long run? talent, discipline, or character?
Character. Okay. So I believe that the discipline is what makes you talented and what makes you good as a musician. If you don't have discipline, you'll be amateur, you'll be okay. But when you have the discipline, then you're going to strive to be the best you can be. And so I think discipline is probably number one. And it takes a lot of character in order to have that kind of discipline, to be able to say, I have to be able to get up in the morning, do my chores in my house, and then go to school. If I go to school in the morning and I do my stuff there, then I have a job in the afternoon where I work until late in the night. Then I have another job where I go and I clean the showroom floor of the auto parts, not the auto parts, but the place where they sell cars. One night I did that. I mean, I do whatever it takes to make the money.
Yep.
And if it means I don't sleep much, okay, I don't sleep much. But I do it because that's what's going to help me to get to where I want to be, which is making music full time. So all those things I've done in my life that took me off my course of music, I got miserable. You wouldn't want to know me because I wasn't me. I was doing something that wasn't me. I could do it good. And people said, man, you're great at this, but I'm not happy. So I bounced back. They call it vacillating. And so here I come back to this, and then I say, well, I can be real good at doing sports audio, so why don't I go off and be an audio specialist? And then I say, oh no, I need to be back over here again, because this is where I need to be. Even if I don't make money, Pedro, I'd rather be a musician.
Me too.
Right?
Me too, because I know what you're saying, and just I experience in my life,
Right.
since I just moved to United States, it's hard, but I don't know why always we're just going forward again,
Yeah.
as we always go to the roots. As what happened to me too.
Right.
And just sometimes I want to give up, but I don't do it because, I respect what I do and I love music, Sorry, but it's like what you mentioned, I can do other stuff and I do it really good too, but at the same time, it's nothing that I like.
You do it because you can.
Yeah. I'm trying to be happy. I'm trying to find the middle.
Yes.
But what I love most is playing. Just share my music, perform, be in a studio, recording, gigging. Meet people, just laugh, and it just says something very important. That is an ankle. Always be careful. Don't treat music. Treat music with discipline. And think in that way that you are just playing an important role is just with people's feelings,
That's right. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It
And it's
is.
a very important job.
It's a responsibility.
Yeah.
And, I'm proud of what I do. And when I play the harp especially, it makes people cry.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so deep, but good. If I can make people weep, if I can make people feel that kind of emotion, I'm a success. Money doesn't make me a success. That makes me a success. So,
I mean, that's amazing, and what you do with harp, it sounds incredible,
this whole thing, Pedro, is a gift.
Yeah.
My playing music, that I can do what I do, it's a gift. I treat it like that. And so when I make music, I'm sort of giving that back. If I make money, it's because those people appreciate it. I learned early in life there is one thing. If I play music, people will throw money at my feet because I put a tip jar right there. And dang, look at that. If I put my guitar case out, they throw money in it. What a great thing. So if that's all I ever got, it'd be okay. But right now I'm hoping, for the absolute stars. And I think the universe wants to give it to me. So I'm going to do everything I can to pursue that and make it happen.
I did that for a while too in California. I was just playing in Oliver's Market. Is one of the, fine wine, fine cheese, fine food,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a lot of organic stuff, and high-end clients just go there just to buy their stuff. And I was performing in those places, and it's exactly what you say, because we are gifted, we love what we do, and I see the response for people,
Right.
and they tip me really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
And even in the, before, basically, in the last part that we end there before we moved to Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
I was doing that. I have to get out of my job, and just start preparing to moving. And I have those kids, and things going really well.
Yeah.
I was just making the money to pay my bills just with music.
Yeah, and you can have that again
Yeah.
here, because it's just finding the right spot, Pedro, because your music is awesome. And I'm sure that, those opportunities are going to present themselves to you.
Yeah, I have to just be more, put in that way, more disciplined, and just be more with the mindset, with the time management.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very important in this country,
Mm-hmm.
management your time really well.
Yeah, I'm getting there at that. I don't have as much time left as you do, though.
Number 9 question. In your experience, no, we did that. This one. If you were 25 years old today in the area of social media and streaming, how would you approach building your career?
Well, because I'm not 25, when I was 25, the only way you could build your career was to get a record contract with a major label, because they had enough money to make that happen. And in this market today, I learned this just the other day, and this just blows my mind. I mean, I went to school and got my degree in communications, and they taught us how to edit video and audio. And we had to literally cut the tape and splice it. Cut the tape and splice it together and put tape. That's how old that was, Nowadays, you have electronics that you can just put the video in there, and then you can cut and paste just like you can with words. And so audio...
Time change drastically.
You know exactly what I'm saying.
Yep.
These days now, it's also digital. And the other point there is that when you create something and you put it out onto the internet, it has on it what's called a digital footprint, meaning that no matter who hears it or plays it, it has a print on it that says where it came from. And so it changes the whole environment of music distribution. If you have it on YouTube and it gets played 50,000 times, you start getting monetization for it.
Yep.
They start paying you for it. And it's because you have advertisers that are willing to pick up your stuff and cover it. So you're playing your songs that much time, people are going to spend time there, and then they have to watch the commercials too.
Yep.
And that makes money for them. They send the money to you, and everybody comes out well.
Yep.
I heard of a guy just the other day who's making $20,000 to $30,000 a month.
Yep.
Just on that. Just on a YouTube channel hits.
Yep.
Which is absolutely incredible. So today in this world, if I was 25, that's exactly what I'd be doing. But it's exactly what I'm doing now at 72. You just turn the numbers around the other way, right? Not 27, 72. But I have a team of people with me that are young men that know all this stuff and are living it in their day lives, you know. And so when they get involved, they can get right in there and do the digital work, put all that stuff together and do it for me. And I can delegate that to them and say, I need this. And they say, oh, no problem. I can do that like this. Just like with you and the podcast, I'd had to set up a whole recording studio, you know, with all the digital delays and all this other stuff to even get to where we could start. But now because of technology, it's more effective and easy to just plug and play, as they say.
Yeah, I'm still learning, you know. I know how to do just the basic stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a full-time world, you know,
It can be, yeah.
to learn to master this production stuff, you know,
Right.
to how to editing video and audio. But I'm getting there with a little by little, definitely.
Yeah.
What is the biggest mistake you see young musicians making right now these days?
Well, biggest mistake. If anybody makes a mistake, it's probably thinking that
I mean,
don't know.
I mean,
I'm trying to
what I'm trying to go around this question is, like that we talk about, you know, all the technology, all the stuff just seems to put everything, even AI, seems to put everything really easy. But what I'm trying to get in this question is, it's always something. What do you think?
Right.
In the opposite way that musicians are making a big mistake because everything seems easy,
Mm-hmm.
but you see a lot of musicians that even they are talented, but they are struggle to.
Yeah.
They are very talented, but they not able to afford
Right.
just to pay the rent or to pay their bills. It's another downside, even
Right.
if we have everything that seems so easy, but it's not.
Yeah, I understand that. I think that the main thing, though, is that a lot of people, like, I'll go to DJs. It's easier to talk about DJs because when the DJs came out, live music took a hit, hard hit. And then when people started coming out and doing things like loopers, bands started taking a hit. Duos, trios started taking hits because these people could come in with just a looper
And that's it.
and sit there and do this, but it's so monotonous. If you really think about the quality of talent involved in doing a looper, it's not that much talent. It's more ability to make it work. If you start it and
Yeah,
get the
and-
rhythm going, you know what I mean.
Yeah, and it can get very boring to
It can
just
get
hear
real
the same
boring.
thing because it's
Yeah, and so you create a song and then you play it for 15 minutes, you know, and it's fun and all, but still the bottom line is that when you have real players, you have that creativity and that perfection and that discipline and that character and all that stuff wrapped up into that person, adding to yours. And then when you add more of those people that have that same kind of determination and belief that playing real music and doing it the right way is what it's all about, it becomes magic then. Then you can see the difference between that and a DJ or somebody who does looping. You know, despite how talented they may be,
yeah.
the talent really comes across if you take that person away from their effects and everything else like that and say, just give me this, the raw deal.
Yeah, I admire to these young generation musicians that do looping and stuff. I really admire what Ed Sheeran does.
Yeah,
It's really awesome.
right.
what he does, but not everybody else does what he does
Right.
and the perfection that he does.
Right.
As someone actively building my own musical journey, what advice would you give me directly today?
The best advice I can give you, Pedro, is to get out there and play the gigs, because getting yourself seen by other people and them hearing your music. I don't know if I ever shared this with you, but I got a lot of response on your performance at our show when you opened the show for us. People said, "Man, we like that guy." So I mean, a lot of people. And I think that if you had a place where you could play a couple of nights a week or something like that, or even just one night a week at a place, you'd start to develop your following around here more, because I think everybody would like your music.
Yeah, I have to just make that happen.
Yeah,
I have to put it there in the schedule.
yeah. Well, you can do some of it with me too. I'll work with you on some stuff. You
Yeah.
know? We'll
Definitely,
help
I
each
will.
other out in this world. That's what it's about. Pedro. We help each
absolutely.
other.
I will have that present in my mind, and I have to just time management. At least one night a week, even if
And I'm
it's
trying-
weekends, great.
I'm trying to help when I have these opportunities with concerts and stuff, to give you a point to be able to come and show your talent, because I believe in you.
Thanks, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Interesting question too.
Mhm.
This is the last one. And after that, you have to sing one,
Okay.
one song for the audience.
Okay.
When people talk about years from now, what do you hope they say about your life and legacy?
Well, I've written a new song. It's my newest song. And the words go like this. They say, "Don't cry for me when I cross over. Sing a song and dedicate it to me. Don't be sad when I cross over. Sing a song and drink a toast to me." Right? So it's like, I've been doing this music all my life. And when I play for somebody, like if somebody's passed away, and I go, it's called a celebration of life.
Celebration
Right.
of life.
In Mexico, when someone dies, you know what they do? They party. They have parades in the street. It's a celebration of life as they bury the person. It's a party. In New Orleans, when somebody dies, they have the bands come out and start playing, and they walk down the street and have a big party. And I think that's the best thing that we could ask for in life, and as a legacy, is that people, when they think of you, they smile and they think, "Oh man, that was fun. Remember me, and how it used to be." That's the thing. Don't cry about it. Don't be sad, and don't stop living. I have a dear friend that his wife died during COVID.
Oh,
He survived.
sorry to hear that.
I know, but she died during COVID, and he did not. But he stopped living, though. And if you stop living, you're already dead. And so when I got back here and I found that out, I had to say something. And it's like, you can't do that. Believe in yourself. Get back that feeling of life, and that you want to live, and drop all these chains and these burdens, and come back. And he's coming back. He's coming back to life. And that's what we save a soul. That's the biggest thing in life, is even if you just save one soul, but if you can talk to a whole audience of people and touch them at the same time, that's powerful.
That's magic.
That's magic.
That's
what we want. We want to be able to take our words because I consider music to be like this, Pedro. I think it's like the universe is out there And it's like all these other spirits and all these other souls that have come before me. They sit there and circle the world or circle the universe. And once in a while, I'll get a feeling like this song, "Don't Cry for Me When I Cross Over." And then all of a sudden, it's a whole song. I mean, it's like I've written that song in 5 minutes. How do I get that? It's because it's given to me all together in one thought. And you know this, you've had it.
Yep.
It comes to you as a thought, a whole thought, and you just, I gotta write this down.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened to us as a musician.
Right.
To get a melody as something that it came from the universe.
Yes.
And you can't stop doing it.
That's
Just start just with the melody or putting words on it.
That's right. It becomes a responsibility.
Yeah, even without knowing, you already have a full song, right?
Yes.
Or a melody or instrumental. Like you say, what happened here?
Yeah.
I have to share this with the world.
That's
I
exactly.
cannot keep that for me.
That's not just mine.
No.
It's mine to give. And that's what I think my songs are.
Yeah, for me, music is very powerful. It's just, for me, it's the language of the universal, The
Yeah.
universe language is music.
If you didn't speak any English, we
Yep.
could still sit down together and make a conversation with music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guaranteed.
I
You can
believe.
see it, you can feel it, you know. And I've done that so many times in my life with people that they can't speak a word of my language, but we get along just fine.
Any song that you want to share with us
Huh.
this afternoon before we close? I think I already asked a lot of questions, and
Okay, well,
I
I'd be
don't
happy to
have-
share a song if you'd like.
yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. Let's get into it. You just set up the guitar for you.
This one right here, right?
Yep. Now let me.
I think I will play one of my original songs.
All right.
That's what I'm feeling most here, so I'll just do that. And this is just a song to my friends. I want you all to know just how I feel inside. Friends are something special in my life. They make me feel like someone really big. Friends can make my dark days turn bright. Well, when I think of all my friends, I tingle inside. I feel this sense of peace in my mind. But when I get to heaven, I know I'll find you there. And we will dance together upon the stars. Friends can make my dark days turn bright. just a song to my friends. I want you all to know just how I feel inside. And this is just a song to my friends. This is just a song to my friends. And this is just a song to my friends. To my friends. Yeah. See?
This is very beautiful.
That was the encore we did at our concert at the Penn Theater on November 8th. That was the encore that we did. Standing ovation. It was so much fun.
Yeah, that is very deeply and beautiful song.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, song to my friends.
Yeah, I just kind of forgot to create a separate track for the guitar, but I hope it's just right there with the same mic, you know.
I think it came out great like that, right?
Okay.
You know, I mean, sometimes you just go with what you've got, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Because I don't
magical.
want to interrupt that magic,
Right.
and it came out good.
I think
I think so too.
Thank you. There we go. She got
Good.
it.
It's perfect. Yeah.
A little bit there. Excellent.
Okay,
That
DL,
was fun.
thank you for sharing your story, your wisdom, you heard today,
My pleasure.
to be here. To everyone there listening, is this conversation brought you value? Make sure to share, subscribe, and continue to supporting real musicians and real stories behind. Keep creating, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next episode. Well, you have to say something to the audience if you want to say something.
I
But-
just want you to know, my group Songsmith is playing all over the city of Detroit and the Northeast. We'll be playing this summer at festivals and local areas. Look for us, and you can find us at www.songsmith.band. All the stuff we have on YouTube and also on Facebook is under songsmith.band. Thanks.
It's excellent, and DL. I really enjoyed to do this episode today, and I hope we can just meet here in my studio again in
We will.
another location.
Thank you.
And thanks everyone to give us the attention. I hope you like it, enjoy, and and I will give you a little more details from DL that you can reach him for lessons and stuff. Well, okay, thanks everyone for watching today. It's a great pleasure. Bye for now.
Adiós, mi
Adiós.
chaparita.
Bye-bye.
No llores por tu Pedro.